Fertility. A simple word with a simple meaning. To be productive and fruitful. The ability to create. To bring new things into the world. To conceive existence. Whether it's the fertility of ideas or the fertility of life to begin a new life, what a truly wondrous ability. But what if it's not that simple? What about when it's just not that straightforward? What about when you follow all the steps and do everything right, but it isn't working? What is it like when fertility isn't straightforward? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. When simple fertility isn't simple anymore. Fertility isn't going to mean the same thing for everyone. While we are taught from an appropriate age what fertility is and how it works, the value of fertility isn't going to mean the same thing for everyone. For some people, children are not part of the life plan. That's okay and valid. No one should feel pressured into having children if that isn't what's going to make them happy. Someone who isn't planning for children may not have as much value placed on their fertility. They might not give it much thought at all, as they never plan to use it. Of course, people become parents under many different circumstances. We don't have time to cover them all today. However, parenthood isn't always planned, which is a different topic for another time. On the other hand, people who are planning to have children will hope they have good fertility. They think about it more often and hope to find a partner who feels the same way as they do. In my journey, I always assumed that I had good fertility. Thinking about it now, I'm sure most people assume the same thing. I never worried about having a problem conceiving when the time came to try for a baby. Based on what I understood about fertility, I had no reason to doubt myself. I received a pretty standard education in Canada on intimacy and fertility. Simply put, if you're not preventing, you're trying. Without protection, a baby is made. Simple. Clear, black and white, right? Planning a baby can be so much fun. There is a lot of excitement involved in the entire process. You can get very caught up in that excitement and not take the time to do any research on fertility, the most important part of the process. It is so easy to assume you will become pregnant within a few weeks because of how simple the whole process is made to sound. And that could happen, of course, don't get me wrong. Many people have a smooth experience, as naturally most people do have good fertility. However, for some, this experience is the first time in their lives that they have to consider low fertility, and that can be devastating. I remember the excitement my partner and I felt the first few months of trying for a baby. We were always talking about it, making plans to get our spare room converted into a nursery, discussing baby names and so on. Transitioning into this new chapter of our relationship brought us closer and strengthened our bond. We both spent time researching newborn care, the hospital stay, labor and delivery. We wanted to know everything there was to know about becoming parents. This is a pretty standard experience for couples who plan a pregnancy. We had no reason to think we wouldn't be a standard couple. It wasn't until the months started going by and the tests kept coming back negative that we slowly realized we weren't having the standard experience. There is a point in your journey when you and your partner sit down and talk about the next steps. We are 6 months into our journey now, and while we still talk about our plans, we aren't testing as often or wondering if every little change in my body is an early pregnancy symptom. Everyone's journey is different. Fertility is so unique for each of us, and it happens at its own pace. With that said, it is very easy to feel disappointment, to wonder what's wrong with you and if it'll ever actually happen. Many of these feelings stem from our education. We're taught very aggressively that it only takes one time and that it's easy to get pregnant, while infertility isn't covered as thoroughly, leading many, myself included, to think I wouldn't be someone with fertility issues. We went from a couple planning for a 2025 baby with hopes and excitement to a couple that became more and more disappointed as the months went by, and even frustrated as we realized we aren't going to be the couple that can truly plan when our baby will be born. We don't know how this journey is going to look by the end of it. However, we are determined to keep as positive as possible as we go. The journey of fertility can feel isolating. It is just you and your partner in this. It can be difficult to share your struggles with family and friends. Furthermore, it can be difficult to reach out for medical help. In Canada, you have to be trying on your own for at least a year before you can start exploring medical options to assist your fertility. Of course, there's also the financial side of medically assisted fertility. Not every couple can afford what they need, and that can be just devastating. Along the way, the question, why me, comes up a lot. When you talk to your partner or when you lie awake at night trying to figure out why this isn't working and why you can't do this one simple thing. The longer the process of conception drags on, the more you blame yourself and the more you worry it'll never happen. This is why a support system is important. It can be your partner, sure, but family and friends can be encouraging as well. And there are many online support groups for people struggling with fertility. Searching out your options and finding what works for you and your partner is all part of the journey. I've learned so much about myself. I'm stronger knowing that I have the courage to keep going in the face of adversity. Yes, this is difficult, and I definitely get discouraged when I only see one line on the test every month. But I can't let that define the entire experience of my journey into motherhood. We have so many friends and family members who support us and encourage us to trust the process, and that is what we intend to keep doing. I can't say where my journey is headed right now. We're still 6 months away from a point where we could even consider medical help with our fertility. Furthermore, we aren't sure if we're even going to take medical measures to help us reach our goal of becoming parents. Medical help isn't for everyone, as I mentioned earlier in the video, and we would be one of those couples that wouldn't be able to financially access those resources, unfortunately. With that said, we aren't discouraged. We remain positive that it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. The whole experience has brought us closer together as a couple, and I look forward to the next step of our journey when it does eventually come. I understand now that not everyone gets the same experience with fertility, and that infertility is more common than I thought. It is also an issue that doesn't get talked about enough. There is embarrassment and even shame attached to the conversation of infertility. I don't want anyone out there sharing my experience to feel alone, because you aren't. I see you and I hear you. I want you to know you are so much stronger in this than you think you are. You can do this. Your journey is valid. However you reach your goal, stay strong and believe in yourself, all in time. Thank you for watching the video, everyone. This video was maybe more serious than you're used to seeing from me. It's something I've been dealing with in my life recently, and I wanted to share my experience in hopes of encouraging others and helping them feel heard. I'll try to bring something more lighthearted with me to my next video. After all, we do like to have fun here at the den, don't we? As always, have a wonderful day, and I will see you all next time.